Hello and welcome back to the Watford Way. Today, as we look ahead to Norwich City versus Watford away at Carrow Road. And I want to cast your minds back to earlier this season when Watford come back from 2-0 down to beat Norwich City 3-2 at Vicarage Road. Some great goals were scored by Watford that day. And fingers crossed we get a repeat of the same on Tuesday night at Carrow Road. David Wagner's side have done okay this season. They're relatively close to Watford in terms of points accrued in the Championship table. But in terms of Norwich City, I find that their squad is probably actually a little bit stronger than Watford's in terms of pure footballing talent. Josh Sargent, Jonathan Rowe, Gabby Sarah, Adam Eder, they're all great players. And I think Norwich City should probably be doing a little bit better than where they are in the Championship table this season. And I do watch a few Norwich fan channels, particularly Talk Norwich City, which I think is a great channel to watch. Chris and Jack are two great blokes, and they're very critical of David Wagner on their YouTube channel. And I've seen a few Norwich City fans say they want David Wagner gone. They've recently recruited a new sporting director in Ben Napper, who's trying to change the whole direction and philosophy at the club. So yeah, it's an interesting stage for both clubs really. Watford are going through a transition season at the moment with Valérien Ismaël trying to kind of rebuild the squad and get rid of some bad eggs that we've had in previous seasons. And Norwich City, they've got a few players coming back from injury. I just mentioned they've recruited a new sporting director in Ben Napper, and they're trying to go in a new, different direction as well. So I think the game's going to be close. I think it's going to be competitive, as was the reverse fixture at Vicarage Road. But yeah, Norwich City do have some great players. I mentioned already Jonathan Rowe, I think is a player who I can see going on to play for a top Premier League side in the not so near future. And Norwich City tend to produce some really good youngsters. You've got to remember, Jamal Lewis was originally from Norwich City. Max Aarons, again, another great fullback. Emi Buendia, another player they kind of developed and produced as well. So Norwich City have a history of producing good young players, and they've got a relatively young squad at the moment as well, especially offensively. And Josh Sargent has just come back from injury in the last few weeks, and he always tends to score against Watford as well. So I think for me, I'm a little bit positive, going into this game. I think Norwich City, are clearly a team Watford can beat, and we've beat them already this season. I just feel that Norwich probably have the stronger of the two squads, especially in terms of depth as well. You've got to remember the Watford squad currently is very small. We've picked up a few injuries as well. And we're kind of at the bare bones really in terms of, fitness and, how long these players can go on for until they're absolutely knackered in 90-minute football matches. So I'm looking forward to the game. I think when you look at Watford's upcoming run of games, we've got Norwich on Tuesday, we've got Huddersfield, Rotherham and Swansea coming up in the next few weeks as well. You would hope Watford would start to pick up a few wins in the upcoming games and hopefully reverse what is our current really dire run of form at the moment under Valérien Ismaël, which is no fault of his own really. I don't feel like he was really backed adequately in the January transfer window by Gino Pozzo. Obviously, from a Watford perspective, we still don't really know what's happening with our ownership situation and whether Gino Pozzo is going to stay at the club long term moving forward. There's still the rumours going on about a potential American investment, but it seems to have gone quiet in recent weeks. So I'm not sure what's happening in regards to that. So I've mentioned already, but I think both clubs are going really through a transitional time at the moment. And when you look at Norwich City and Watford in the past, and within the last 6 or 7 years, really, we've both followed a similar trajectory of getting promoted, staying in the Premier League for a few years, getting relegated together, getting promoted again during COVID. So we both tend to follow, similar paths in the Football League and our football journey generally. I just hope Watford can do the league double over Norwich City on Tuesday night, just to help push us back up towards them promotion places and just give Watford fans a bit more hope that maybe, just maybe, if it all goes right, we can just about nick the playoffs this season. But that's just me being ridiculous and overly confident. I do genuinely think that Watford will probably finish, top 10, maybe lower mid-table this season. And as I said, it is a bit of a transitional season for Watford. In terms of Watford injury news, it looks like there's just really. A couple of players who won't feature in this game. In Ngakia, I believe has been training with the Watford squad, but isn't quite ready to play in a match yet. Same with Eddie Kayembe, who got injured before the African Cup of Nations, and I believe they're still assessing the severity of Vacuum Bio's injury that he picked up against Leicester City. Obviously, he got substituted in the second minute there just by jogging and pulled his hamstring, which is very unfortunate indeed. So 3 or 4 injuries there for Watford. I'm not sure in regards to Norwich City, but as I said, Jonathan Rowe for them has just come back from injury. Same with Josh Sargent as well. And Gabby Sarah as well in midfield is a great player. So I think, as I said, Norwich City probably have the stronger of the squads. But I've seen a lot of Norwich fans say David Wagner out this season. A lot of Norwich fans want him sacked. So it's going to be interesting stuff to see what happens on Tuesday night. In terms of a score prediction, I'm going to go positive. I'm going to go confident. I don't think Watford will keep a clean sheet because we have struggled to do that in recent weeks. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Watford victory. I'm going to go for a Emmanuel Dennis goal off the bench. And I'm going to go for an Ismail Kone thunderbolt as well from midfield. And Josh Sargent to score for Norwich, because he always seems to score against Watford. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section down there below. Let me know your score predictions as well. And make sure you tune in here on the Watford Way for a live match watch along on Tuesday night. I'll be here, I'll be live. I'm ready to talk to you guys throughout the entirety of the game, and hopefully we'll witness a Watford victory here on the channel. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.